The recorder is recording?
Yes, it is.
So hi everyone, this is Gender and Jakarta, and I'm Fedina.
And I'm Tutto.
And today we'll be talking about public transportation in Jakarta. So we have to talk about Jakarta first. Jakarta is around 740.3 kilometers square, which is actually big for a city, but we have a population of 11 million in the daytime and around 9 million in the nighttime.
Yeah, which means that people commute into the city to work, and yeah, we haven't still gotten like the exact numbers of how many residents there are, but yeah.
So of course 11 million means a lot of commuters, and a lot of commuters should also mean a lot of people taking public transportation. That's not really the case. A lot of people take their own private cars or motorcycles with them, even though we have a lot of different varieties of public transportation. So we have the Trans-Jakarta Busway, which is the city's official bus line, I guess, and we
also have the public transport, also like in general, like buses. We have different kinds of buses. The intercity ones, the big ones, they're called patas AC because they have AC air conditioning. And then we have some smaller ones which are bright orange, and there's another one that's green, Kopaja and the Metro Minis. And then we have the Metro Minis.
Yeah.
And then we have
Microlet, which are minivans basically. They can fit around 10 people, I think. And we also have ojeks, which are more motorcycle taxis.
Motorcycle taxis.
And finally we have taxis themselves, which probably compared to other countries aren't so expensive, but here, because of the traffic, it can get pretty pricey. Oh, we'd like to point out that Jakarta, according to Castrol survey this year, is the #1 most congested city in the world. So all you people in LA or wherever who's saying that you've got the worst traffic in the world, no, we actually have the worst traffic in the world.
Exactly, and we still have more like bad traffic, like worse.
So why do people take public transportation? Like, what reason is there? First, it's cheap. So, for example, if you take the Trans-Jakarta Busway, that's only 3,500 rupiah, which is around 30 US cents, for like all the line. Like, as long as you don't get off the bus stop, it's just 3,500. So that's cheap.
Yeah, you can like take the bus, the Trans-Jakarta, from like one end of the city to the other and pay that much, and
exactly,
you can do round trips all you want all day if you wanted to.
The prices are similar for microlets and Kopaja or Kopajas. They're 3,500 per ride.
Yeah, but you know what? There's another like form of transport that's often overlooked in Jakarta, which is walking itself. Because I mean, imagine that we have that such and such area or city, like urban dense cities, and you imagine that like people like anywhere else, like in New York or wherever, Paris, you walk around, and that really isn't possible. I mean, it's complicated here.
I mean, for one thing, we have really bad pavements, so it's not very comfortable for people to walk on either way, and sometimes when there's traffic, motorcycles like to go on these pavements, so it's really hard for people to actually walk on them.
Yes, I actually got into an accident a few weeks back because of one such person.
And another reason is, I think, the pollution in Jakarta.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are so many cars, and so and it's such a congested city. There's so much smog everywhere. It's really hard to breathe when you walk around in Jakarta.
Honestly, there are better ways.
Exactly. Well, I guess let's talk about the actual workforce. According to the Central Statistics Agency, out of 112 million workers nationwide, 43 million of them are women. And including myself, I guess. And I use public transportation to go everywhere. But from my experience, parents, families, and friends, they often give advice or warnings to women who take public transportation in Jakarta. They'll say something specific like, please only take the Bluebird taxi late at night, you know, or please make sure you don't take the microlet after 10 p.m. or something like that. And I don't know, I think that it's because there's still a really high rate of sexual harassment, sexual abuse against
In
women.
general. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No. That in itself, I mean, it's not just women who get who are prone to these things, but I can imagine that women also, yeah, get it worse, I guess.
I mean, I feel like with guys, it's more like you're scared of being attacked, like physically attacked or robbed. Whereas with women, it's those two, but also you're scared that you're gonna get followed home, you're scared you're gonna get sexually harassed, you know. And I mean, the National Commission on Violence Against Women recorded in 2012 that there were around 4,336 cases of sexual abuse, and 118 of them were sexual harassment. There's nothing specific about public transportation yet, but I imagine, because when you read the news in Indonesia especially, there's a lot of news about women getting sexually harassed in the microlet or the Trans-Jakarta busway, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially with the Trans-Jakarta busway, one of the safest public transportations in my opinion, so I take that every day. But you still hear stories about sometimes there are guys who like rub up against like women passengers, and then sometimes even the security guards. But those are really rare cases, but it happens.
True. That's true. I mean, like you might think that the Transjakarta bus is like just a melting pot of crime or something, like because it's very very cheap to get on, and every walks of life, people from all walks of life go on there.
I mean, I feel like the whole stereotype of women being more vulnerable is also hurting us because, for example, there was a case a couple of months back where there was like a bootleg taxi that was actually targeting women. So they would target women who were looking for taxis late at night and they were traveling alone, and they would rob them once they were inside. This is
I mean, I can't say anything about that. I haven't been robbed in the taxi either, so yeah, that's pretty apparent how public transportation for women isn't as safe as it should be for men.
knowing that there's quite a few dangers in taking public transportation, especially for women, I feel like we have a few steps to prepare ourselves to take public transportation. And I feel like one of those things that we prepare is our clothing. So I call it my public transportation uniform.
Okay.
Basically, we have to make sure not to wear anything too flashy. Try to keep everything like nothing too short, nothing too tight. Comfortable shoes just in case you need to run away from someone. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah, or even run like trying to run for
like
for someone.
thief, and nothing sleeveless usually. Even though the Trans-Jakarta busway can get hot because everyone takes it, and it's almost as if like the responsibility of not getting harassed or robbed is like onto my shoulders instead of people who are supposed to not harass or rob me.
Yeah, I mean that on Transjakarta buses they have these security people who are there for your alleged protection or something. But I mean I get that, and I guess guys also do that to some extent too. I mean we put our backpacks in front, like so that nobody can like pick us from behind, pickpocket us from behind. Don't leave anything hanging, and like, and don't seem too. You just can't look glamorous,
That's
as
true.
if like guys do look glamorous on public transport. But yeah, I mean, we do like we pack like an extra shirt or something sometimes, but that's for me at least. And most of the time, it's when like the weather is so hot outside and I have to change my clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like for girls or women, I guess it's more the fact that you need to, I don't know, like cover up or change it to something more appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're not gonna talk about it in length in this video, but
We can do
there's
that.
yeah.
A whole episode.
No, but I was just gonna say that since we don't really have sex education here, there's no one telling guys not to rape, and everyone telling us, be aware, don't get raped.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess guys can do that, can prepare so much, but then girls, yeah, how do you prepare for crime and how to prevent it? I guess most of all.
I mean, I think that's like one of the reasons you see a lot of girls on public transportation with like a stone face, because they don't want like people saying hi to them.
Yeah, no, you cannot like go and talk up some stranger on the public transportation and hope to have like a conversation and some sort of relationship going there. No, that's a big no.
Guys in Jakarta, please do not. Okay, like that girl's like probably scared like out of her mind.
Yeah.
And another thing we think about, at least for women, for me, is what time we take our public transportation. So there's almost like a public transportation curfew. Personally, the latest I've taken the Trans-Jakarta busway is around 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. But the one thing that I really, really do not take after 9 is those small buses, the microlabs or the kopaja, just because they're so unmonitored, unsupervised,
Reliable.
Yes, exactly.
That's true. I mean, you really never know who owns these things, and let alone own these things. Like, who drives these things? Cause
like, the safest bet for late at night is always a taxi, and a taxi company that like Uber, for example,
yes.
Express. Like, take the advice of your family members.
Yes.
That's like after 10, it's.
Or don't go home too late.
Exactly. But that's like annoying though, Sometimes where we have to work late.
Yeah.
So it's kind of unavoidable, and it really doesn't cater to people who work late or people who party,
Yeah, not even. Yeah, that's true. That's one thing that I've gleaned from the transportation system. We do have after hours buses, like Trans-Jakarta buses. I think they're supposed to run 24 hours now.
No,
or something,
like
or
from
at least
5 a.m. to like midnight.
At least midnight. So for all those people there partying and wanting to get drunk in Jakarta, well, your only hope is really taxis and a friend.
Yeah. So we know there's a lot of problems about harassment and about women feeling safe in public transportation, and obviously we expect the government, or at least like these transportation lines, to do something about it. And so far, the only real concrete thing that has happened for the past few years, I don't know how many years actually.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah. Is women carriages. So women-only carriages. So in trains and also in the Trans-Jakarta busway, they have these carriages that are basically only for women and children, that men can't go into. So even if you're a dude with a kid, you still have to go to the men's section.
Yeah. But does that do anything? These carriages, the ones that are on the Trans-Jakarta busway, like, do they give more benefits to women. Or a couple of times I've also experienced taking the Transjakarta busway, and like the men's or the mixed section.
The mixed section.
Yeah, the mixed section, the normal section is practically like
Packed.
whereas like there are still like a few seats in the women's only part that are reserved for women only, but I don't know if that's effective at all.
Like maybe in the short term it makes women feel safer because they think, oh yeah, women will most likely not sexually harass other women.
Yes.
But it's not really a solution at all, don't you think? It's more like they're compensating for, the government, the country, not giving sex education to men and to women, for first for men to make sure that it's not right for them to, like sexually harass someone, and secondly to like assure women that, it's okay to say no, punch that guy in the neck if like you feel like he's doing something weird.
Yeah. Self-defense.
So they're just like not solving anything. They're just like separating these two, like gender and sexism, thinking, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I mean that goes into way more avenues than just transportation. But basically, it doesn't take into account how women themselves can just be as responsible for these crimes.
Yeah.
Pickpocketing, or I don't know, like there are some instances where like women like pretend to be pregnant whereas they're not.
Yeah.
They can like steal stuff, but that's in general, it's not really well thought through. I think the concept of just
Okay, so basically, Jakarta we have a lot of public transportation options, but the security measures have not been thought of for not just in terms of being robbed or attacked, but like being sexually harassed, and it's a pity because we're a big city. So basically, that wraps up our first episode, Gender in Jakarta, on public transportation.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Tell us what you think about our discussion in the comments below. If you have any queries or any questions you'd like to ask, you can always email us, which I'll put it down here too.
And we'll probably put up the data as well.
Yes.
The stuff we'll put up the stuff down there also of the comment section, and tell us what you think about it.
If you have any suggestions for what other topics we should talk about, and you can always share your experiences with us, and if you'd like, you can read them in the next vlog.
That would be cool. Alright then.
So hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time, guys.
Bye.
I've been drinking watermelon.
Action!
Wait, what are we supposed to
Wait.
do?